Yeah, hi everyone. So today we'll discuss very important question which is known as the majority element. Actually, you will see there are a lot of variation to this problem. If you really want to master this question and how the algorithm actually works, and this is the very famous question for the interview purpose, I would suggest please check out the full video. And if you will check out this full video, I can make sure you will be expert of this particular questions and the questions which are of the same type. Okay, the only thing which you need to do is please check out the full video. Okay, let us jump to the question. So what this majority element question is all about? Here what we need to do, we need to find an element in the array which is present more than n by 2 times. Okay, majority, the terms itself is saying that you need to find the element which is in the majority. So the element which is present more than n by times, we just need to return that element. If let's say that element is not exist, you just need to print some message like we are not able to find the majority element, or the majority element is not present. Something we will print. Let us take one example. Here we have n is 6. So 6 size array we have. In the array I can say 1 4 2 2 2 2. Okay, so here I can say that n by 2 is nothing but 3. Okay, so the element which is present more than 3, that is the majority element. So here you can see 2 is present 4 times, that means our output is 2. Great. So how to solve this question? I would suggest please pause the video and just give it a try. Just think about the simplest approach. Do not think about the how much time complexity it will take. Just think about how you will solve this problem. If you really want to master this kind of problems, okay, just stay with me and just think how I am thinking about the problems. Okay, so just give it a try. So the first algorithm which is coming to my mind is I need to find the count. Okay, so if I can get the count is more than n by 2 times, that means I got the answer. So if I can run the loop, okay, for each element, and inside that loop, if I will run one more loop on the array, and I will just compare the elements of both the loop. Okay, based on that, I will just get the count of each element. Once I got the count is greater than n by 2, that means I will just print that element and we will break out of the loop. So don't you think this approach will work? Yeah, it should work, right? Because we are just getting the count of each element, and once we got the count as greater than n by 2, that is the answer. Simple question. But this approach will take n square time complexity because we are applying loop inside loop. Okay, so here we are not using any extra space, so space complexity is nothing but constant, right? So let's think about this some better solution. Can we somehow reduce this n square? Okay, so what is the better than n square? The better, so think about that, because this is n square, you want to improve it. From n square, I know n log n is better than this one. So let's think about the n log n. Whenever the time complexity of n log n is coming to your mind, the first thing which should click is, hey, can I sort the array? Because I know for sorting, time complexity is nothing but n log n when you will use the merge sort, quick sort. Oh, let's think about that approach then. So what if I sort the array? Okay, I did the sorting. Now what you want, you just want to check if any element is present more than n by 2 times or not. So if I can compare the two indexes, start from the first index, compare that index value with the current index plus n by 2th index, because if there are n by 2 elements present, okay, they will be together, they will be contiguous because the array is sorted. So if the element at index I is same as the element at index I plus n by 2, that means that particular element at index I is your majority element. Don't you think we have solved the problem? Okay, we'll write the code, no worries. I'm just explaining you the approach. Okay, So just if you think that you are not able to understand, just pause the video. Okay, just think about it, what I'm telling. Because array is sorted, and if element at 2 index are same, and the difference is n by 2, that means that element is majority element. Great, we have reduced the time complexity from n squared to the n log n. Okay, now do you think still can we optimize it? Let us think about it. Here time is n log n, space is still of 1, which is constant. So we are doing great job, right? We came from n squared to the n log n. Do we have still some approach which can solve it in the less than n log n? Now the next question which comes to your mind is, hey, better than n log n is nothing but the n. So can I solve it in the n? Without sorting, can I solve the question into n? Pause the video, think for some time. Okay, yeah, we can do that. How we can do? So if we know that whenever things about the counting is coming, you want the count of any number, the most important concept which should come to your mind is, can I use the hash map? Yeah, absolutely you can use. So with the help of hash map, I will just traverse the array. I will count the each element, how many times that element is present in the map. Okay, hashing is nothing but to store the element count, okay, or to store where the element is present. So here we use the hashing for counting. Okay, just run the loop, and if you see that key is already present in the map, just increment the count. If key is not present in the map, okay, just insert that key into the map. Once you have traversed the array, just traverse the map, and for each key, if count is greater than n by 2, that is the majority element. Wow, wonderful, right? So we started with the n square. N square, we came to the n log n, now we came to the n. Don't you think isn't we are doing good job here? So, but the only thing which we have changed, just compare. Space is of 1, here O of n we are using. That is the one thing we have used extra, right? Apart from this, everything is great. Okay, so if you will, okay, let me tell you, if you will tell these 3 approach to the interviewer, he will be very happy. Okay, so but when we talk about the, let's say, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, okay, and Facebook, so what they want is they want the best solution which is available for that particular question in the market. Or so best solution means, can we still do it in the of n time without using extra space? So for this majority element, okay, there is one famous scientist, you can say the right. So there are 2 person, okay, mathematician, you can say, they have developed one algorithm. Okay, so using Boyer-Moore voting algorithm, you can just check about this on this Google. You can just search about this algorithm. What this algorithm talks about is one second. So this algorithm you can see in the description. Okay, here they have defined the logic. Okay, they have written the logic of what we can do to get the majority element. Okay, so the same I have entered in our PPT. So you can go through it if you want to explore more. At this point, I think these algorithm points for the algorithm, okay, perspective, I think we are fine with this approach. Okay, so let me think about the solution here. So what we are doing here is we are saying what this algorithm explains is, okay, so if you want to get the majority element in the array which is appearing more than n by times, so you just need to take one element as m and one counter I with will be starting with the I at 0. So m is nothing but the element for which we are doing the counting. I is nothing but the variable which will keep the how many times m has encountered so far. Understood? M is element, I is nothing but the counter. Okay, just run the loop. Okay, now at every index I, just compare the m with the current element of the loop. If they are same, then we need to increment the count, because I is nothing but the count of the element m. So if we got the m, then we'll just increment the count. Let's say we didn't get the count, we didn't match the current element with m. What we need to do? Just decrement the count. Okay, so we'll explain in this later point. Just decrement the count. Done. Once you will come out of the loop, so what we can say, if our array has the element which is present more than n by 2 times, this m will have that element. This is the power of this algorithm. Okay, this is the power of this algorithm, that if you have that element is present more than n by 2 times, definitely n will have answer. But let's say if there is no majority element present in the array, then this m will have some element, okay, but which is not the majority element. So in our use case, what we want to print the majority element if it is present. If it is not present, we just need to print the some message. So after this algorithm, we just need to do one more thing to make sure that we have m present more than n by 2 times or not. So we will just run one more loop and we will compare this I is the so this m, and we will count it. If we got the count as greater than n by 2, that means m is the majority element, else we will just say, hey, no majority element found. So this is the algorithm which you need to memorize it, you can say, because for sometimes we need to remember the things, okay, because that is the power of the preparation. Let's say if you will go without preparation in the interview, I'm sure if you are a good programmer, you can solve the first 3 approach, but this is very difficult for you to think about at the first time. So if you will prepare, you know what are the famous algorithms, what are the famous technique we can use. That is the power of preparation, and the interviewer will be very impressed. So here you can see we are just running one loop. Time complexity will be O of n, and the space complexity is nothing but const, because we are not using any hash map, any extra memory. We are just using 2 variables, which is constant time, constant space. Great. Let's directly jump to the coding part, because without writing coding, you will not understand is it really working or not. So if you are clear, let's say, okay, you can pause the video and you can write the coding by your own. Okay, if you want to learn with me, just follow me and we will try to write down the code. I hope everything is clear. Okay, so let us jump to the coding part. Let me give you the majority element as the name. Okay, if you feel anything is not clear, please just comment out. Okay, let me just define the array. Okay, we will take 1 4 and 2 2 2 and 2. Okay, so here n is nothing but 6. Okay, n is nothing but the 6. So what we want, if any element which is present more than n by 2, so more than 3, that is the answer. So here 2 will be the answer. We will apply the Boyer-Moore vote algorithm. Okay, so in this algorithm, first of all, we will get the majority element. Okay, majority element. So what we need to do, let's say I'll just get the find candidate which can be the majority element, because we know if let's say our array doesn't have the element which is present more than n by 2, this majority element will have some random number from the array. That's why we just need to say that it can be the candidate. We are not sure. Okay, once we got the candidate, let's say, we just need to verify the count, right? So let's take one count as 0. Okay, and just run the loop int I 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, what we will do, if array of I is, oh, I need to apply the if if array of I is same as the majority element, right? That means we just need to increment the count. Once we came out of the loop, just say if count is greater than n by 2, that means we got the answer. We will just print the number saying majority element is this one, okay, which is what is the majority element. So I will just print this element. Okay, cool, right? If this is not the case, we will just print one message as per the question requirement. So question was saying, hey, you can just print no element found. Perfect. Yeah, right. Now this is the method which we need to implement. Let us pass the array and the size n. Let me quickly jump to this method. We will say public. Let's say we will make it private because this is internal method for us. Private static, and it will return us the int and find candidate, int array, and the int n, which is nothing but the size. Okay. What we need to do as per the algorithm, he told just take, let's say, one m is the element, okay, and we will take one count, which let's say nothing but the count, which will be 0. Okay, now start with the run a loop. Okay, run a loop, simple loop, I0 to I less than n for all the elements. Okay, we will just run the loop. What we will say, so here one thing you can do is, first element we can assign to m and we will keep the count as 1. That is also fine. So here, just to make sure that we will not get any error, if n is let's say less than 1, that means there is not an element in the, so we will just return the -1. Okay, fine. If let's say we have at least one element, I can just do this thing because it will not throw any index out of bound exception. So, and count is 1 because we have one element whose count is 1, right? Now we will start the loop from the next element. So just compare with m. If array of m is same as I, what I told you, we need to increment the count, right? Very simple. If this is not the case, okay, we just need to decrement the count, right? Now one very important thing here is, let's say we are decrementing the count, it will go in the negative also, right? So we don't want that. Whenever we have seen that, first condition very important, if you have seen that hey, count is 0, okay, that means we need to reinitialize the m variable. This is the concept of the algorithm. If you will miss this part, then it will be very tough for you. Okay, so just do this one. So if count is 0, just assign the m as the array of I. Okay, m is the array of I, and in the else part we need to do this particular thing. I hope it is clear. So from here we will just return the m. All right, so we got the candidate. We ran one loop just to make sure we have count. Okay, let us run it. So here we should get the answer as 2. So you can see majority element is 2. Let me do one thing. Okay, let me just change 4 to the majority element. Okay, now 4 is coming 4 times. Okay, I will just remove the, so now our 2 is 1 and 2 is count has 1, 4 is 4, so 4 we should get 4. Great, you can see. Okay, now let us give that there is no majority element. So I can 4, 3, 5, 7, right? Now there is no majority element. We will get message no element found. You can see. Perfect, right? So that is the power of this algorithm. If anything is not clear, okay, please comment out. I will be more than happy to explain you guys. We'll create one more video. Now what I want from you, okay, so the thing which I want from you is, so here I have discussed the question majority element. Okay, this is the question which I discussed today. Now what I want from you, there is similar question. Okay, so here we need to find the element which appears more than n by 2 times. Just check our second question here. Find an element that appears more than n by 3 times in the array. So I will give you this as the assignment. Just take it as the question you got for the interview, let's say. Okay, so just think about the above first problem. We have used four methods for that. You just try to solve the question based on all the four algorithms, and let us get the algorithm which will take off and time. One hint I can give is this we can solve with the very similar approach of this question. We can use the same concept here also, but we just need to modify it. Okay, so give it a try. No worries. If you are not able to solve it, do not worry about that. It's fine because we will learn by doing. Okay, if you will try it, you will learn a lot. Okay, and I will cover the video on that also. No worries about that. But I just want you to try that, and if you are able to solve it, please comment out, because it will give me a happiness which you cannot think about. Because I'm doing a lot of hard work just to explain you the things in the proper way. If you are clear, then I am the person who will be happy, more happy than anyone in the world. Okay, so thank you everyone. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe. That is the power I can, that is the power you can say. If you will subscribe me, it will give me the motivation to create more videos and more content in the more better way. Okay, so please like, subscribe. Thanks a lot.